Hello Capricorn, welcome to your reading for the month of July 2025. My name's Wendy and today I will be using the Robin Wood Tarot to conduct your reading. It's my favorite deck of all time. It's been out of print for some years and I really hope they start printing it again because my copy is pretty worn at this point. Anyway, Robin Wood Tarot, and we're going to look at this month from the perspective of the bloom cycle. And the reason for this is I've been thinking about what it means to have trust. And in particular, because I live in Canada, it's summertime, I've been gardening, and I have this rose bush that goes through bloom cycles. And so start off the season, you get all these beautiful, vibrant, colorful roses, and it's something to behold, and it's just so majestic. But then a few weeks later, those roses start to shrivel up and they essentially disappear. And then the plant is just leaves for another couple weeks, and then more roses do show. But in those moments where the roses are gone, it kind of forces me or us to go, metaphorically speaking, forces us to kind of look inward as opposed to focusing on something outside of us. And it challenges us to have faith, right? It's kind of like new moon to full moon energy as well, looking at this cycle and trusting that everything has its place within the cycle. We have to go through both the big bursts of energy, the big events, the clarity, and the obvious to the not so obvious, to the invisible and the internal. So we'll look at what's blooming in your life. We will look at what is being released or what's falling away. And then I want to look at what you're meant to learn or gain from this. And it's not that I want to dictate your wisdom to you, but I do think it helps to have some perspective as we go through these big changes. So Capricorn. Okay, what's blooming in your life? Right away, we've got some cards. So what's blooming in your life? You have the Seven of Swords with the Four of Wands. Right away with this, I'm feeling the need to, there's two messages. The first message is there's a need for a road trip, a change of scenery, a little trip, getting out of the usual routine to do something kind of differently in order to form this foundation. It could be that some of you need to do research and look in places or find sources that you maybe haven't used yet. The Seven of Swords to me is one of mental clarity. It's one of solutions, but it's one of seeing a situation differently from how other people may see it. It's like navigating the city differently from how most people do. Most people would take the streets, follow the directions of the streets, but this character in this card is going his own way. And going your own way means seeing the city differently, seeing things from more of like an underworld sort of perspective, different routes, secret passages. So it feels adventurous. And I'm hearing something about connecting to community as well. The Seven of Swords to me can be like the person who vows to kind of go undercover or who is unafraid to carry out the deed, carry out the action. This is someone who maybe prefers to work alone. I'm also seeing somebody like a teenager sneaking out the window to go party. I mean, that's a pretty obvious connection. I know a lot of you too are wondering the Seven of Swords can be deception, and to see it with the Four of Wands, is there deception going on in your relationship? There very well could be. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. There very well could be. The Seven of Swords is a card of someone who can also be the criminal, right? We think of these Plutonian, I know it's Moon in Aquarius, but I see the Seven of Swords as a rather Plutonian card, meaning we're looking at Pluto themes like the underworld, secrets, wealth, navigation, power of the individual, who is maybe doing something undercover, under the cover of darkness. It feels like you have a mission. It really feels like you have a mission, but it requires you to go into this wearing a disguise, or some of you might be looking at, if you have a business, there could be theft, and maybe you're thinking about how to rearrange your shop, let's say, so that more, because the Four of Wands is about setting things up, organizing the foundation, the home, the space that you're in. And I feel like I'm going to sneeze. Clearing out the cobwebs, you know, being aware of everything that's happening in every corner of the room. So it feels like your garden needs to be weeded, or you need to go into the corner of the house and clean out the crawl space. Or again, if you own a shop or something like a business and you're concerned about theft, then it's bringing things more out into the open or illuminating those darker spaces. So there is kind of this fear of something being taken away from you. But I see in a bigger way, because I like to look at tarot as an empowering message. I don't really want to focus on those negative warning messages. Of course, tarot is meant to give us insight, but I do see the Seven of Swords as a card of empowerment for the individual. Some of you have maybe just been at home doing the routine thing, taking care of the house, and you just need a change of scenery. So maybe you're married, but you want to spend more time by yourself, or doing things by yourself, going for walks or exploring things by yourself, and kind of realizing that it's okay to have separate lives to a certain extent, right? So Seven of Swords wants to act alone, act independently, and get away from this typical life I'm hearing. For some of you, because the Four of Wands is like a dress rehearsal, it's kind of like preparing for this big event. Some of you could be preparing for an event. And the Seven of Swords is like, okay, I will vow to go and take care of these things. I will go and find the resources. I'll go and scout something. I'll go search for something. I will find it. It can be watching how other people do things in order to understand their method, because he is leaving the enemy's camp with these swords, but he's left two behind. So there's kind of this mystery about why was that left behind? Was it an accident? Were your hands full? Maybe getting a little off track here with regard to your reading, but it's a mysterious card. Some of you may like to do performance theater, and so in that case, I see your character kind of being this person who does wear a disguise, go undercover, wears a mask, wears a face covering of some kind to conceal your identity. So there's this. Some of you may want to conceal your identity. Others of you need a change of scenery. Others of you are recognizing that there has been some dishonesty in something that you thought was stable, like someone has been getting away with something that you built together. They've been taking from you, and that's a very serious thing. So that being said, let's look at what's falling away. What are you releasing? What's disintegrating for Capricorn? Because it feels like the truth is out there. The High Priestess. Okay, so your intuition, the books as well. I feel like a lot of you just look at the books, look at the records, look at what has been documented. Does it line up? Because something is going to be quite obvious that it took place. And you can look at this, you can find it by looking at the books or the records, the administration side of things, the paperwork. High Priestess is also a card of invisibility, a card of quiet or silence. And maybe some of you have just been observing, and now's the time to get into action. Some of you have just been observing a person's behavior, and now's the time to call it out. Some of you maybe have felt that you couldn't express your desires or your needs, so you kind of kept it to yourself. Because to see the High Priestess falling away, that tells me that you're entering a more visible and present chapter in your life. So you don't have to withhold, you don't have to be invisible, you don't have to be silent. You can just disguise yourself. Some of you may want to attend an event and you have some anxiety about it, so you make an escape plan. You know, there's so many different ways to interpret the Seven of Swords. So when you see it, I don't want you to panic and think that everything's terrible or that someone is deceiving you. It may actually mean that you need an escape plan, or you need to get out of your usual routine, or, you know, there's a solution. It just, a solution that requires escape. No matter what you're doing, there's an escape plan. And so what's been thought about and pondered and perhaps meditated upon with that High Priestess, we're moving away from that, where it's in the etheric and it's not formed yet, it's more of an idea or a feeling. Now we're taking action. Now we are it's starting to manifest. I think that Seven of Swords is pretty empowering for a lot of you. You want to go your own way. You want to start your own business. You want to do something on the side. You want to just have a little more time to yourself. And realizing that you don't have to be as limited in your experiences or denying yourself things, because you can, again, have that escape plan or wear a costume or a disguise or something that really comforts you, that helps you, even though you are physically there, you are visible, so to speak, you're still not quite you. And so it helps, this removal of self, this theme of removal of self continues through the reading, and I think it benefits you somehow. I know it sounds strange. Many, many different ways to interpret these cards. And what are you meant to learn from this experience? What is the wisdom being gained for Capricorn? Do you maybe have to start taking care of someone? Your stewardship. I heard stewardship. So what you're meant to learn, what you're meant to gain, the Chariot. So another card of movement, of travel, of empowerment, embodiment. The Chariot is embodiment of that which makes you feel strong. Feeling strong in your body. What makes you feel strong when you have to be physically present somewhere? Is it listening to your favorite music on the way there to hype yourself up? Is it working out so that you do feel muscular and physically strong? The angels are with you. You are divinely guided. This is a divine path. And it tells me that you can have what you want and what you need if you just go after it. So I like to see these cards together because, again, with the High Priestess, that's what's being released. So this invisibility or this quiet and this observation mode or this dreams and wishes and intention setting, that work is done. That inner work is done. And now we're starting to see it manifest in the outer world. And I love to see this because she's got her books, she's got her orb, her crystal ball. She's connected to the elements. But then you see the Chariot with this beautiful canopy of stars, which symbolizes only the heavens are above you. You can ascend. You will achieve your goals. Music is powerful. I think this is a time of activation for you. It's really a time of activation, so you want to have a plan. You want to have a plan. And that plan will be unique to you. And that's okay. You have your own unique way of doing things, of setting things up. You've got a vision for how to build something. It could be a relationship. It could be an actual structure. It could be your market table. The Four of Wands is that structure that holds everything that you know. It houses you. The Chariot, the way he's playing the lyre and he's singing, tells me that there could be an announcement of some kind. I almost sense judgment energy from this. But it's time to move forward. It's time to accelerate. The universe is giving you a green light, and you will have victory. There's so much strength in this reading and personal empowerment. I will say as well that for some of you, a vehicle may help. Maybe you don't go by foot. Maybe a vehicle, in a very mundane way, the Chariot can be a vehicle that gets you there a little bit faster. The Chariot asks us, what is the vehicle that carries you? Your reading seems to contain repeated messages of that which carries you, that which houses you, that which contains you, feels safe, your body, your house. A lot of you could be going through first house transits. Maybe there's something significant in your first house relating to the body and how you show up in the world. And I see this incredible increase in strength too, power. And the more you do it, the stronger it becomes, the stronger you become. So you have this amazing proof of concept this month where something that you've envisioned and invested in and have set intentions for is becoming realized. So Capricorn, I will leave that there. And if you would like a personal reading with me, I'll leave my email address in the description box. I will give a heads up, I can only take payment through PayPal right now. So if you want a reading, you can email me. I think I'm just charging $50 Canadian for like 20-25 minutes. Basically, a reading like this, maybe a little bit longer. You can send me all your questions and everything. And so 50 Canadian for a pretty decent reading. But it will have to be through PayPal, okay? I don't have a website at this time. So thank you for being here, and I will see you in the next one.